Are you struggling to improve at Fortnite ranked, or just struggling to win ranked games or fights in general? And this is the right video. Today I'll be teaching you how to get better with small tips, tricks, and how you can win more games overall. Stay tuned for the entire video so I can show you early game, mid game, and the end game tip. So I'm gliding again. I noticed somebody on top of my head. However, this is why it's important to analyze your surroundings when you're gliding so you know where your opponents are for off-spawn fights. Now, because I was analyzing my surroundings, I noticed somebody else to my left who had a way better drop than me. So instead of taking a 50-50 with him, I decided to relocate and go a different direction to avoid 50-50s, which is my next main point. I avoid 50-50s and you should too, because off-spawn situations like this have a very high chance of getting eliminated, which is why I end up looting up and gearing up before I start to fight this player, which means I have a higher chance of winning the fight. So as I'm walking here, I do get shot at, but I don't panic, and all I do is just place some walls between me and the opponent so I don't take any more damage. So as I'm popping shield, I'm staring directly where I saw the shots coming from so I can see if I can locate him, and there I do. I can see him in the back hopping, but later I use this to my advantage in the fight, which is why you should always look at your enemy at any possible chance you have. Now, because I know where he is, I take a quick shot with my hunting rifle and I get a massive health advantage. So now I can rush in freely because I know that this guy is playing more scared now. So I take another shot with my shotgun. I know that he's very low. So now I just rush in, take his wall, open up the code, and I get the quick free kill. That's why you should always instantly push your opponent after you get a massive amount of damage on them so that they can't heal up and the fight will be much quicker, like I just did in this scenario. So after I cleaned up that fight, I got shot at by another player. But instead of panicking, I tried to see if I can get some counter damage, but sadly I missed all my shots. So now I just heal up and I see if I can get any advantage. But I see that he's being shot at by another player. So what do? I use it to my advantage and I switch angles. So here I use the tree as natural cover because you don't always need to build because that will alert people, so you can use natural cover. So now that I noticed that the third party left and I shot at him and I got a big beam, so I tried to push him like I said earlier, use your health advantage, but I do play too aggressive and I do get cracked here. So instead of playing aggressive again, I create some space and I start popping heals. Healing, he starts pickaxing my wall. What do? All I do is just go up an extra layer to create even more space so I can finish popping that last mini. So see that somebody's starting to chop us down. So what all I do is go onto the layer where the opponent is so that when we get chopped, I'm able to easily start shooting at him while he's trying to escape, and then I pick up the free kill, getting his free Oni mask and loot. As I wait the third party, I know that the person finally dies, so that means the other opponent is probably low because he just took a lot of damage from the fight. So am I right? Yes. I do crack him for 40, and what do I do while I know that he's cracked? All I do is just keep on putting pressure on him from switching angle just to prevent him from healing. Because this player is really high, all I do is just throw my Void Oni up so I can get height using the mask. However, as you notice, while I'm going down, I place a cone to block the opponent's shot, therefore I don't take any unnecessary damage. This is a great way to get height and get the advantage on opponents. So here I take his wall, but I notice that he's using a rank phase, so all I do is just shoot him through the ramp phase. I know that he's really low now because I've cracked him twice already. So all I do is just build up, jump backwards, and I hit him from his head because he peeked over. Doing this trick with the Void Oni mask ensures that you can get height almost every time without taking any or minimal damage. So here I notice these two players are fighting, so all I do is just Void Oni on top of their builds, and I notice that one of them just got finished. So all I do is just play super aggressive here because I think he's low, and I do get a massive amount of damage on him. But he does end up escaping from my box, so all I do is just keep on switching angles and trying to find different openings to attack him from. So while this player is running away, I noticed one thing. He doesn't put a cone in his box, in his metal box. So all I do is just slide a ramp while I break his wall in order for him to move boxes. Because many players are going to come through when you slide a build through their box. So is that right? Yes. So here I take his wall, put a ramp, and I just one pump him with the little Mongrel Classic. Using this ramp phase is a great way to get your opponent to leave their box so you can change angles. So once I notice that there's a third party coming, I forget about the loot because I'm not going to be greedy, and all I do is just create space with two wooden boxes, but I do make sure I put a cone in my box. See how when I'm creating space, all I do is just make one box and I quickly expand it to another, so I have two boxes to play from, which means I have more of an advantage against the opponent. Now when you're third party somebody, don't always assume somebody's low like this person, because all I do is just play super aggressive on my ramp. I do a little window edit and then I full piece him here. I crack him and all I do is keep on spraying into my box, and I pick up the quick kill just because he's playing over aggressive. So new player underneath he's pressuring. All I do is throw my Oni to zone because I don't want to get caught in storm. But then I get a big beam on him. Instead of going to my old Oni, all I do is just throw a new one to surprise him, and then I pump him. Since I just now cracked him with my new shotgun, I know that this guy's very low and he's just trying to make space. However, I notice that he makes a big mistake and he doesn't put a wall in his second box, and that's why I'm able to bleed through with my assault rifle and pick up the free kill. Another mistake this player made is all he did was box up in wood instead of brick or metal, which means that his builds are weaker and I'm easily able to get through with my assault rifle. That's why you should always use your hard mats when you're low. I noticed this player teleporting with his Oni, and all I do is just wait for him to teleport and I get a small amount of damage. So all I do is just teleport onto his builds to apply pressure. So here I bait my pickaxe and then I jump, making it harder for him to hit my shot, but I have my cursor aimed at him the entire time. See, look, I have my shotgun, I hit him for 37, but he can't hit me because I jumped, and it's very hard for him to hit that shot. So after I do that little bait, all I do is just run over to his wall, start pickaxing it, and then I get his coat, and then I just spray him with my assault rifle to pick up the free kill. Make sure you use simple tricks like this just to get a little bit more damage on the opponent to make your fights easier and winnable. Here I beam this player on the motorcycle, and what do? Like I always say, I apply pressure. So all I do is void Oni onto him, and then yeah. But here I make a major mistake and I made his build. So I know that since I'm in his build, he's going to try to go for a full piece, which is what he ends up doing. So I sprint and then I jump so I can still hit him as well, and then I crack him. And then all he does is a 50-50 at it, and then I'm able to shoot first and win the fight. So I see a car driving up the hill, so I try to get some damage, but I end up making a mistake, and I don't build up high enough properly, so he does get some damage on me. However, notice that when he hits me, I use that to my advantage. When he hits me, I jump him, I pump him, then I hit him with my AR, and I notice that he's staying in his car, so I just hit him with the head with my shotgun, and then he's done. Quick tip, when you're in a car, somebody's spraying at you, don't stay in your car like this guy did, or you're just going to get one pump like I just did to this guy here. After I killed the car kid, notice that while I'm walking around, I notice that there's a player here. So we both go for a blue battle. I hit him for 90, but he also cracks me. So instead of pushing him like I normally say, I end up healing up because you don't need to take every single fight that you get into because sometimes it's just not worth it. So I'm popping shields here, and I know that this guy is somewhat low because I hit him earlier, but he's also somewhat low. So while he's trying to take my wall, somebody railguns me. I take the wall back, but he takes my wall, but I'm able to get a one pump off him. See, as in the replay, while he's pickaxing me, I turn around and take the wall in the back quickly, and I turn back to him so I can quickly shoot him before he's able to finish me off. So here's a quick tip that you should learn, even if it's not in fighting. So if you're in a box and you look at the cone look at the top cone in your box, you're able to see through it, which you should know by now, but if you don't, you should use it so you can see where other players are, and you should know where to rotate, which is what I'm doing here. And it's fine, I don't really do much. All I do is build to height when I notice there's somebody underground, and then I wait for him to make a move on the rotation, and then I just pick up the free kill using my invisibility. Once again, as I'm rotating the zone, I notice there's a player here. However, I use the zipline here because I notice that he's building right by the zipline so I can break his build. I pump him, I just spray through it, and then I pick up the free kill because I use my surroundings. Here, because I notice that there's a zipline, I use that to my advantage, and this player had nothing he could do. Once again, you also have to analyze your surroundings. Here I see two players fighting here, and since there's 4 players, I know that the other last player is in that brick box. So I know that when I slide to this bush for rotation, I'm free, that there's nobody here. There's only 3 players left, and what's the easiest way to win endgame? On height. So that's what I do. All I do is I see these 2 players down, and instead of trying to play them on low ground, all I do is just go on height because I know that there's water underground. And if I'm going to try to fight on water or build through water, it's going to be much harder. So what I do here is I use a double floor ramp. I use a double floor cone technique here so that it's much harder for them to chop me down, but I also have the best angle. So now lastly, in endgame, all I have to do is just play patient and be calm. Don't rush anything. And yeah, so I'm just quickly just moving to zone without any stress or pressure because I know that I'm on top. I sprayed this player for a bit, but instead of spraying at him, I moved to zone so I don't take any storm damage. However, while I'm doing this, I noticed that there's a player in the water. And I just pick up the free kill because he ran out of mats. Now it's a 1v1 situation. I have this player marked, and all I do is just spray at the end, and then I pick up the free ranked win. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope these tips are hopefully helpful to you to help winning more ranked games or just fights in general. Please do consider liking and subscribing as it will help the channel out, and let me know what kind of video you want next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.